Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we will compare two of my amazing espresso machines. So we will play with Barista Express and we will compare it with decent espresso machine. Wow! How can you compare those two machines? I mean, this one 500 pounds, this one 3,000 pounds. The question is, by the end of this video, I will try to answer the question. Was I naive spending so much money? Can I get as good shot of espresso from Sage as I'm getting from my Decent? If that's the case, I'm going to sell my Decent and I will stay with the Sage forever and ever. So the stakes for these videos are high. So as you can see, both of those machines, the size-wise, are about the same. Barista Express obviously got the grinder. Decent, well, no grinder, but there is a tablet instead. Barista Express is wider but shorter, while Decent is narrower but it's longer. I like both of them because they are small. I don't like big machines because my kitchen is small and it's difficult to fit in something bigger. With Barista Express, you've got a 2-liter, 1.8, I think, liter water tank that is on the back. That may or may not be difficult to access. There is a filter inside or there is a space for the filter inside the water tank. So that's very useful, especially if you live in London where the water is hard. With the Decent, the water tank is actually underneath. So you lift that thing out on the back of the machine, then you bring the water tank, and that's the water tank. That's like a ceramic tray I mentioned in my previous videos, something that you would probably use to cook to bake a pie or something. At the beginning I wasn't sure if that's a good solution, but it works, it fits well and it works well for me. 2 liters or over 2 liters of capacity, easy to wash. Unfortunately, there's no filter, so I have to filter my water before I put it in. So both of those machines are like a prosumer level machines, although on the different level. But Barista Express is a perfect first espresso machine. It's serious espresso machine. Okay, the full experience of being a barista at home, but it makes the approach easier than pretty much any other machine. So, and in the box you get pretty much everything you need to pull a shot of espresso. Well, obviously there is a grinder. That's a conical grinder. I think it's 38 millimeters. Don't quote me on that, but it is a conical grinder. I mean, you cannot, for 500, 600 pounds, you cannot find anything better that offers everything this machine offers. There is a PID, not very precise, but there is a PID. You can increase the temperature by 2 or 4 degrees, or you decrease it by 2 or 4 degrees. I put lots of videos about this machine, so I won't talk you through everything. You get that there is even a tamper here, magnetically attached. Not the best tamper, have a look, but there is a tamper. There is a pressure gauge. It gives you some understanding, but don't worry too much about it. You can put your cups here and they won't get hot, but it will get warm. Here there is the water tray. Nice touches, like when the water tray is full, it will lift that sign up. And on the back, you've got a nice compartment for a few things. Comes with a spouted portafilter that it's on a heavier side. It feels nice, feels quality in hand. Here I've got attached what I bought, that will be a naked portafilter, because we're going to put 2 shots we want to compare, so I want to show you the naked portafilter. The machine will tell you when to clean it, when to do the descaling and stuff, so it's so easy. Everything in this machine that can be made out of plastic is made out of plastic. I love this black color, by the way, and I think it looks much better than the silver version that most people have got. On the side you've got that knob, so you can either turn it to the right and then From here, the hot water will come to top up your drink. Let's say for Americano, you turn it the other way around, and that's where you initiate the steaming procedure. Both of those machines actually, they've got those pumps that vibrates, so they make that sound. That's the one of the similarities between those two machines. They kind of noisy. They make that ta 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 ta. While this one makes. Okay, so well, you decide which one you like. Maybe because I was so used to the noise of this machine that when I got decent, the noise was not a problem for me. One issue that I have with this machine, it is not a 9-bar machine. The pressure goes all the way to 14 bars. And I'm not sure exactly why, but I think it's because this grinder, although it's good, it's not perfect, and in order to extract, and you need that extra pressure, so the pressure will go to 14 bars. But what it means, especially with the lighter roast coffees and even with the darker, channeling is an issue. That's why I do not recommend to use naked portafilter daily, because you will get frustrated. If you do, make sure your pack prep is proper, but you probably will still get some channeling. I have replaced filter baskets for IMS, so this one I think is 18. I've got a bigger one as well. Decent looks plasticky, but almost everything that does not have to be plastic, it's made out of metal, so kind of opposite to to the Sage. With Sage, as I said, you get almost pretty much everything you need, even the steaming pitcher for the milk. With Decent, you get Decent, portafilter, the handle, by the way, made out of wood, tablet, as you can see, you get one filter basket, pretty much it. Okay, so you need to, whatever else, well, obviously you need to buy a grinder. So you see, this machine, 500, and you've got everything. This one, 3,000, you have to buy a grinder. So, well, I've got a, let's say you want a niche, so that's another 500. So the costs are going up. So this one's got 2 pumps instead of 1 pump here. But they are the same type of pumps, obviously better quality here, but the same type of pumps. So why 2 pumps here? Because it mixes the water, cold and hot water, so it provides the water of the exact temperature. So even though this got a PID, this one, it's got so many probes everywhere. It controls the temperature, pressure, everything. It controls it also at the pretty much at the pack head, the group head. So you can change the water temperature even during the shot. So let's talk about the profiles. So today we will play with the default profile, because that's what I think is the only fair way to compare. But you can load so many different profiles. Anything. So you've got a espresso allongé, very nice for light roast. You've got the Londinium. You've got a blooming shot. You've got, if you want, let's say you want a Cremina lever style shot, you've got that. You've got traditional espresso. You can brew a tea on this machine. That's what this machine gives you, offers you, the possibilities, okay? Because without that tablet, even though you don't really have to use the tablet, but without that tablet, that machine would not be worth that much, okay? What's inside this machine, it's worth something, it's good quality, but it would not be worth 3,000. That tablet and technology, what makes this machine awesome. I mean, you can adjust pretty much everything that you want. Gives you a full control. But also, what I really love, it also shows you how well you pull any given shot. So you see where you are, the lines show you where you are, and the lines also will show you where you should be. so you know where you are making mistakes in a, let's say, pack prep, maybe grind settings, etc. But it's also very frustrating if you are someone who likes the perfection. You may spend shot after shot after shot trying to reach to that perfection. So remember, the important thing is not how the shot looks like on the on the screen, but how it tastes like. It actually connects with my Bluetooth scale. So I can program this machine to stop at a weight of the shot. So let's say I wanted to stop at the 36 grams. I press the button. Obviously, I have to load the coffee. I press the button. It goes. I can concentrate on recording. By the way, if you're not recording, you can see your shots in the mirror here. But if you do record, if I record, obviously I get underneath to show you the flow. But I don't have to worry about the duration of the shot because it will stop by itself. Neither of this machine can steam and brew the coffee at the same time. And honestly, never in my life I required that possibility. I had a dual boiler from Creme at some point, but on Descent it's actually that's what I miss. I would love to be able to steam milk. The reason is, as I said, you can pre-program the shot. The machine will stop when the coffee is ready. So in that time, let's say 30, 40 seconds, that would be a perfect time to grind, to steam some milk. Neither of those machines steam milk very fast, but the Descent is much, much faster. So I will quickly, I know every video has to have that demonstration of the steam power. So you press steam here. Very dry steam, and then it cleans itself. Okay. So depending on the size of the milk pitcher, they quote 40 seconds. I had a chance to play with the GS3 recently, and it was so difficult for me when the machine can steam the milk in a few seconds. I never got it right. This one allows me to get a proper milk. I don't have to stress too much. So very forgiving. But talking about forgiving, this machine will, for the beginner, is perfect. Okay, it takes minutes and 10 seconds around to steam a jar full of milk. But it allows you to really steam to perfection. Any mistake you can correct because you have time. Before I got Descent, I liked to steam the milk the most on this machine because I could get the best texture of the milk. So it takes some time because both of those machines, they use thermoblocks. Okay, there are no boilers on either of those machines. That's another similarity. No boilers. The water go from the water tank through the thermoblock, and either to brew the coffee or to steam the milk. So have a look. So this takes some time for the machine. So the machine has to put the water into the proper place. This now is flashing that light hot water steam. And then there will be a pop, 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 pop. Okay, not yet, not yet. Not yet. Wait for it. And then you've got a steam. Now this one you have to purge after steaming, and it's hot. Yeah, this one you can touch. It's double walled, so it gets warm but not hot. Now, how it is daily use of those machines? You turn them on, and Sage, it's ready to pull a shot out almost immediately. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's ready to pull a good shot. So you need to give that machine 10-15 minutes before everything, so the group head, everything, the portafilter, everything is hot. You can use few dummy shots to speed up the process, but that's what it takes. This one, it's ready in about 2-3 minutes. And then I would say another few minutes to make everything hot, but it really gets hot fast. And because of those probes everywhere, you know that the temperature it quotes is the temperature that you get. Both of those machines, they can turn off automatically if you don't use them for a certain period of time. You can set up the time on this at, I think default is 1 hour. I don't remember this one, but that might be like a 15 minutes or half an hour, and then it turns off itself. In terms of the look, some people hate Sage. Lots of people actually hate Decent. Probably most Decent haters are those people who would really like to have Decent. Sage is where all that madness with my home coffee making started a year ago. So I never thought after a year I spent so much money on coffee equipment. When you think maybe I should upgrade the grinder, maybe I should upgrade this, that, and so on. You start watching the YouTube channels. It might be a rabbit hole. You know I can talk for hours, but let's pull a shot and then let's see, because that's the most important. Is the espresso any good? Because if it's comparable, then maybe you don't need to spend so much. Maybe you would be okay with the Barista Express. The coffee we're using today, you cannot get it in a shop, by the way. That's a Malabar Monsoon coffee. I got it for free from producers of Jura bean to cup espresso machines. I met them at the London Coffee Festival. Check my video, they gave me like a VIP tour with those machines, and at the end I got the bag of the coffee. That's a medium roast. There are no tasting notes, so we will discover them ours together. Very, very forgiving coffee. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but it's difficult to pull a bad shot with this coffee. That's why I've chosen it. So I don't want to go for like a single origin where I can show you how the inadequacy of the Barista Express. I want to give them a good chance to fight against each other, and we will be using a niche today. So very nice looking, look at that crema. Very nice looking shot. It took 25 seconds. Have a look at the extraction, by the way. So ideally that brown line should be leveled with the blue line. It's slightly above, so again, that's why probably the extraction was slightly faster than I wanted to, but otherwise it looks good. And that's what I mentioned about the Decent. You can see exactly where you are, where you should be, and you know what you need to improve. Yeah, so maybe slightly faster. I would be aiming more for 30 seconds, but we will see what we can get from the Barista Express. I want to get the comparable shots, and it's difficult to run a long shots on a Barista Express. So you get that chocolatey, chocolates and nuts in a fragrance, a little bit of almonds, and you've got the dark chocolate with the little bit of sweetness. Pretty much no acidity, maybe on a background, almonds, and maybe something like a dry fruits, like a prunes, somewhere in the background. There is that degree of bitterness there, not unpleasant, but present. But this coffee is mostly to be used with milk beverages, so for that is very good. Yeah, deep. There is that deep chocolatey and a dark fruity aroma. Very nice shot. What can we get on Barista Express? That's the question. 28 seconds, slightly longer, but still comparable to Decent. Shot again looks nice. No, smells pretty much the same. Let's taste it. Kind of similar. I'm trying to look for the. There were more sharper notes in the previous shot, so I could find those distinctive flavor notes. Here, less of the clarity, even though the same grinder, the same settings, 17.5 grams of coffee in both of them, 36 grams of liquid. Okay, if any of those shots, if you taste them individually, you should be happy. You should be happy. And obvious difference there isn't, so that's already a win for the Barista Express, by the way. Because of the nature of the profile of Decent, it develops the coffee full of coffee flavor. So I could distinguish the chocolate, I could distinguish the dry fruits, a little bit of sweetness. Here, I'm struggling to find anything. Okay, I washed my mouth with the water before. I'm struggling to distinguish anything, but the end result is very pleasant. So the difference in the quality of this particular shot, and remember, we used very simple coffee, and we used a niche grinder, by the way, on the same settings for both. The duration was slightly longer on the Sage, but in similar region. The shot of Decent, I would say, is difficult to put numbers into the flavors. You've got more distinctive flavors on this machine, but with this particular shot, this particular coffee, I would say it's 10% better. Decent. So Decent is 10% better, but it's 5 or 6 times more expensive. Obviously, Decent, as I explained you before, offers all the variety of things that this machine doesn't. You could start with the default profile, and then you can, if you want to develop more flavors, if you want to find the different flavor notes, you can play with the numbers here. On Barista Express, the only other options that you have is to press and hold double button, and that put machine into kind of a pre-infusion state. The pressure will be around 4 bars. I'm not sure exactly, don't quote me on that, but it will be around 4 bars, so you can hold that pressure, that button for as long as you wish, and then you release it at some point, and that will allows you to do kind of a pressure profiling. But that's pretty much the only trick you can do. Otherwise, you can play with the temperature and dosage of coffee. That's it. Here you can do pretty much everything. This machine for the medium roast works well, but with the light roast, oh my god. Well, today we were lucky, you see, there wasn't that much channeling as far as I could see. But with the light roast, this one, that will spray the coffee everywhere. This one, unless I pull those long ratio like allongé or something, I pretty much never get channeling. So the final verdict, have I overspent? Yeah, probably, yeah. If the only coffee that I drink was a medium roasted coffee, I probably could live with my Barista Express. But the coffee is a hobby, is my hobby. And if something becomes your hobby, the costs, as long as you can afford, the costs are not that important. Obviously they are important, but that's not the only thing. The thing here is the possibilities that this machine offers, and it offers a lot. I just started to explore this machine, so probably in the next year or so I will discover even more. So if you're a coffee hobbyist or fanatic, then that will be something for you. But if you are just looking for the daily coffee that is of the good quality but without too much fuss, and you are on a limited budget, this is something for you. It's pretty much all you need with this is to add a coffee scale, maybe a dosing funnel, and maybe a few smaller things, and you're ready to go. Definitely click like, and if you haven't subscribed, plenty more crazy videos coming. But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack. This is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.